Now we're on to the training principles frequency part of the video. So, as I said before, there are 6 of these videos, and they all have to do with training for a particular goal. Most of these examples I use are going to be people are working out in a weight room or fitness center type thing. So the first question is, what is training frequency? And training frequency refers to how many times in a week an individual is working out or training. And we also have to understand, why is training frequency important? And training frequency is important because it's the foundation, the basis of most training programs. So the amount of times per week somebody is exercising can either positively or negatively affect their desired goal while they are training. Some of the positive benefits of increased training or of a proper training frequency would be just better gains in the gym. So that can come in the form of increases in muscular size, increases in muscular strength, increases in muscular endurance and in power. And another benefit of proper training frequency is that when people get to really advanced levels of training, they can make their workouts shorter by training more often. So, for example, instead of training 3 times a week for 2 hours at a time, if you go 4 times a week at an hour and a half, that way you're not in the gym as long. Or you could even do 5 times a week and maybe just an hour. So you still get all of the things that you need to get done in the program finished, but maybe you're just not in the gym for as long. And then what that does is it makes you have shorter, less intense workouts, and that is actually a good thing, and I'll explain that a bit further later on. Now, what are the negative effects of not training frequently enough? So if you're not training frequently enough, then you may not provide your muscles with enough stimulus needed to grow and adapt to whatever training you're doing. So, for example, if you are only going to the gym once a week, you're going to find it really difficult to really achieve any goal that you want to do. Obviously, some activity is better than none, but at the same time, you need to make sure that that people are putting in a bit more time than just once a week. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard to see any sort of gains in improved body composition or any of the muscular strength, size, and endurance portions that we've talked of earlier. Now, on the flip side of that, there are actually some negative effects for training too much or too frequently. And so some of the negatives of training too frequently are that the first one is that you might not be giving your body enough time to recover. So typically, your muscles take about 48 hours to recover after a workout. Now, it also kind of depends on other things, like how intense the workout was and how much you were maybe attacking or working out a specific muscle group. But generally speaking, 48 hours is kind of the go-to where your muscles have recovered from a workout. So if you are training too frequently and you're maybe doing too much of the same muscle group all the time, then your muscles may not end up improving or recovering well enough. So, for example, if you're training legs on Monday and then you train them again on Tuesday, they haven't quite recovered from the previous workout. So you are already not recovered, and that might negatively affect your Tuesday's workout. So just making sure that, yes, you can train frequently, but just giving your muscles a break, in the sense like maybe do an upper body day one day and then a lower body day, and then mix and match between those. Another negative effect of training too frequently is that it can lead to this thing called overtraining. And what overtraining is basically where you've been training too much for too long and your body just can't handle it anymore, and your performance actually starts to decrease. This happens a lot with Olympians or people who are training for really high-level international competitions, because they train with too much intensity for too long, and then their body starts to actually decline in performance, and then they think they might not know what overtraining is, and they might think that the solution is that they have to work out harder and longer and stuff like that. So they keep pushing their body up like this while their performance keeps going down like that. So overtraining is normally a sign that it's time for somebody, or you take a little break just to give your body a bit of time to recover. And then the last negative effect of too much training frequency is that it can actually sometimes lead to increased risk of injury because of just there's more wear and tear on your joints, and because you're training so much frequently, you might not be recovering as well, and then all of these things can unfortunately lead to increases in chance of injury. But these can also be avoided with the right programming of your whatever it is you're trying to do. And so the last thing we need to know of is, okay, let's say you're brand new to going to the gym, you're excited to do it, but you don't know how many days a week you need to be going. What is the recommended training frequency for a beginner? And general rule of thumb, the common consensus is that if you are brand new to exercise, that exercising 2 to 3 times a week is probably good for you as a beginner. Also, side note that if you are a beginner and going 2 or 3 times a week, you're probably going to want to do more of a full body routine. That way your entire body gets worked out rather than just doing what they call the bro split, where they just focus on particular muscles for each workout. So don't do that. Don't bro split if you're going to do full body workouts to begin your training program if you're a beginner.